This YCN segment is brought to you by New London Hospital, an affiliate of Dartmouth Hitchcock.
Welcome in, YCN Sports Talk. Jeremy Stout, and joining me this week, Andrew Zerhide. And we have finally hit March. I know the weather doesn't feel like it, doesn't look like it, but baseball is only 3 weeks away, Andrew, and Red Sox open up on the West Coast, so we don't have to deal with the weather here until first week of April. But Red Sox spring training coming along. Dustin Pedrioa, he'll be making his debut on Thursday, and he'll be starting in the game, probably get a couple innings in, maybe an at-bat. We talked about it last week with Brett Franklin, how many games we think he would play. Are you optimistic and Pedrioa is ready to go this season?
Yeah, I mean, everything that I've been hearing, it's all good news. And I've heard that Dustin Pedrioa worked out all of the offseason. I think after watching his team win a championship without him, that probably really bothered him. So, I think he's going to be ready. It's a little concerning. The surgery he had was a really serious knee surgery. I think it was like cartilage restoration surgery or something like that in his knee, which doesn't happen a lot. It's kind of a rare surgery. So hopefully he can come back strong. In terms of expectations, I hope he can play 110, 120 games, something like that. I don't think he's going to be completely the everyday second baseman. He's going to kind of have to work into that role. But if he can at least play 100 games, I think that will definitely benefit this team and his leadership too.
Right.
He brings a ton to the team even if he's not playing. So if he can play 100 games, 110 games, that's going to be big. But yeah, this spring training, that is going to be a game to watch to see how he responds.
Right, and it's the first big test. Obviously, has been out all season. He came back last year, around Memorial Day, I think it was, played a few weeks and just never worked out. He was with the team during their World Series run, so provided that leadership, like you said. So that's obviously big. How do they divide up this playing time? Obviously, it depends on if he's healthy.
Right.
But assuming you're going to get that 80 to 110 games, somewhere in that 30-game window, I think he's going to be healthy enough. I think really he's either healthy enough or he's not healthy at all. You're not going to have a situation where it's like 60 to 70 games. He's going to be ready to go or he's going to be out again for the season because they have other options. Eduardo Nunez and Brock Holt. Who gets the bulk, or is it kind of like a timeshare split evenly 3 ways?
Yeah, so it's going to be probably a timeshare at first. If Pedrioa is healthy, I'm assuming, if he's feeling good, he's going to get the first look. Definitely the best second baseman defender on that team. Brock Holt and Nunez, they're okay defensively and they can swing a good bat. But with those two guys, let's say Pedrioa is out, I expect those two to kind of be a platoon, right? Brock Holt, lefty bat, he's going to face the righties, and Nunez, a righty bat, he's going to face the lefties. It might depend a little bit on Rafi Devers over at third, too.
True.
Eduardo Nunez, he played a lot of third base, especially in the playoffs. So, and Brock Holt, he can play anywhere, right? Except pitcher and catcher. So it's going to depend on some of the other guys as well. But for the most part, my prediction, I expect Pedrioa to be there for at least 100 games, something like that. And for the most part, I think Brock Holt, mostly he's going to be filling in at second base.
Right, and I think at least for the first part of the season, you won't see Pedrioa play a lot of back-to-back games. He might only play 2 or 3 games, or he might come out halfway through the game, depending on the situation. Problem is, Nunez isn't a great defensive second baseman, so you can't put him in for defensive purposes. And we've seen Brock Holt; he can't play full-time all the time. He has too many holes in his swing, and he gets found out pretty quickly. So he can get a spot start here and there, but clearly isn't the everyday second baseman. So it'll be interesting. Just hope for some health for Pedrioa, and hopefully he can get back into it. Another position that they have kind of a 3-man rotation, so to speak, is catcher.
Yes.
They got 3 guys. I talked about it last year: Swihart, Sandy Leon, and Vasquez. Who is there an odd man out again this year, or is it we're going to carry 3?
So offensively, Sandy Leon is the odd man out, but you talk about defensively, he's probably the best catcher they have. I mean, Christian Vasquez is a very good defensive catcher, and he can swing the bat well. Blake Swihart, defensively, probably the weakest, but offensively, he has the highest ceiling. My guess, Sandy Leon is probably the odd man out. Just the way he swings his bat, hitting under 200, you just can't have that. I mean, if you look at last year's team, they won a championship with really the worst catchers offensively in the league. So maybe you don't even need to upgrade offensively at catcher, but I do think Sandy Leon they want to give Blake Swihart a real chance.
Right.
They want to give him the chance to struggle, the chance to thrive, and it's probably a good move. He's younger, he has a higher ceiling, it's a better investment for the team. I expect the Red Sox to trade Sandy Leon before the season kicks off.
And we all thought Christian Vasquez was going to be the answer last year. He struggled a little bit,
right.
but he is the guy. A couple years ago, they figured he was going to be the all-time starter, and Leon would be the backup, and Swihart, they'd figure it out. Now it seems that things have shifted, and Leon is kind of the odd man out. So we'll see what happens in the next 3 weeks of spring training. Also, the pitching rotation seems to be taking shape. Obviously, they've got their question marks, but it should be pretty good. So hopefully not too many questions to get answered as we head towards the end of spring training. We'll take a break, come back, talk some National League East, a big shakeup in that division, and we'll preview that division next on YCN Sports Talk.